Alright, so this tutorial is just going to be kind of a refresher and just what I have found now that works really well for me for concealer. So this is actually, you probably don't care, but this is the second time I've made this video. I made it and it worked out really good, but then I accidentally deleted it. So sorry if like I'm gonna try not to miss anything that I went over already. So I'm just gonna show you kind of the basic products that I use. I'm just gonna show you exactly how I do my concealer nowadays. I have hereditary dark circles, and sometimes they're darker than other times, and it's just kind of a pain in the butt, but I found a method now that works really well for me, so I just want to share that with you. And then later on in the video, I'm going to show you just like all the different concealers I've tried and my thoughts on them personally. So yeah, keep watching, and I hope it helps you out. Okay, so the tools you're going to need are just a small concealer brush. I got this one at Walmart. It was just some random brand there. It's actually really good quality. Then you're going to need some kind of a fluffy either eyeshadow brush, something like that. This is from Mark. It's their blending eyeshadow brush. And then for the products that I use, first of all I use, this is by Gabriel, Color Concealer. This is from Whole Foods. That's where I bought it. I have it in light, and it's just basically a really creamy, thick concealer that's like all natural. And it doesn't cover very well, but I use that as a base because on top I put Everyday Minerals Intensive Light Mineral Concealer. This stuff is really good. It's a little bit too light for me, so I might try to look and see if I can find a darker shade online there. And then the powder I use is still the Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder. In number 2 is what I use, but it's just a little bit warmer toned, I think, than number 1, so it's kind of whatever you want. Alrighty, so once you've got similar products to that, or those products, this is what I do. First I take the Gabriel concealer, and I just put some underneath my eye. So I have, like I said, hereditary dark circles. I have little fine lines and stuff under there, so my concealer usually creases really easily. So that's my main issue with concealer. So this method I found hardly creases at all. So, I mean, maybe like halfway through the day you're going to have to just kind of pat it just a little bit to kind of help with the creasing, but for the most part it's really a good method. So I'm just blending this out with my finger, just really gently patting it out. It's not going to give me hardly any coverage, but it's going to makes a huge difference in the staying power of the mineral concealer, which is, yeah, it sucks by itself. So I'm just patting this on all under my eye, even on the inner corner here where I tend to get a little bit blue looking. Okay, so once you've got that on, you're just going to take your mineral concealer. I've tried the regular concealer and it didn't seem to work as good as this intensive stuff, so that's what I'm using. Just put a little bit in the lid, take my brush and put some on the brush and then swirl it in the lid so it works it into the brush, and that helps the application go more evenly, because that's one thing I had problems with this method at first, was I'd get really splotchy looking the concealer because it wasn't even. So I've kind of learned how to deal with that now. So now I'm just going to brush this on, and I don't really pat it too much. It's mainly a brushing method. And yes, I do kind of open my mouth, stretch my, you know, under eye part down a little bit, so just so I get an even coverage over everything because of the creasing and stuff that goes on. And make sure you don't go past your dark circles, or else you're going to get a really bright line here, which tends to look kind of funny. So I'm just going to kind of keep going over this, just adding more as I need it. And I try to do my makeup in natural light if possible, because it really gives such a difference in like how it really looks, because there's a lot of just like unnatural like fluorescent lights and things like that that just make your skin look really gross, or it makes it look like too perfect so you don't put like as much makeup as you normally would on, you know, or you think you need. Natural light is just better. Alright, so I'm just going to continue to do this, just adding a little bit more. You don't want to put way too much on. I mean, it's kind of you know, up to you how much coverage you want, because you don't want it to look really like fake and creasy and cakey and all of that. So I just put some on the inner part here and blend it with my finger a little bit. So yeah, I'm just going to go over this and then I'll come back and show you the powder. Okay, so now for the powder, like I said, I'm using the Mercier Secret Brightening Powder. So I just get some of that once again in the lid, get my blending eye brush basically, and just swirl it in there. You want something that's kind of fluffy, not too dense, because you don't want too much powder, just enough to kind of lightly set the concealer. And then I just pat it right on top here. Make sure to get the inner corner too, and sometimes I just kind of bring it down a little bit because this stuff has a little bit of shimmer, so it kind of acts as like a highlighter on top of the cheekbone. Ow, I cut myself. Oh well. A little bit along the bridge of the nose. Brush it off the tip. Okay, so that's pretty much it for the concealer. I know it probably does seem like quite a time-consuming method there, but it really does. Hopefully you can see the difference, and it really does work for me. It doesn't look fake too much, you know. I mean, like if you get natural light, it's obvious that I have something under there, but it's not like, you know, really cakey and, you know, dry looking, nothing like that. And it also, like with pictures and stuff, it looks fine, you know, I don't get like this brightness under my eyes when people take pictures or anything weird, you know, flash pictures. So yeah, this is a really good method. This is what I've found that's worked for me. I've had a lot of issues with concealer, as you will see if you continue to watch the rest of this video where I talk about all the different concealers I've tried. So yeah, hopefully this helps you out, and if you don't really care about concealers, then you can stop watching now, and if you want to know, keep on watching. I've used tons of different concealers, pretty much everything, most of everything that people have said is good, which I've found that might be, might not. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you later. Alrighty, so as you know, I told you that this method that I just did does crease a little bit, but I mean a little bit. If you get way too much on, it's going to crease more versus if you put just like a nice kind of sheer amount. So yeah, definitely just keep an eye on it. Maybe halfway through the day, you're just going to have to kind of just pat it a little bit with your finger, and that'll help with the creasing, but it barely creases at all, so that's awesome. Alright, so the concealers I've tried, at least the ones I have with me now that I've tried, I'm just going to kind of go through those and let you know, like, what's good, what isn't, whatever, you know, what the difference is and stuff. So first of all, I just have the Everyday Minerals, just their regular concealer. It's upside down. Like I said, I have tried this in place of the Intensive Light. This one didn't work as well. It was too dark for my skin. But also, you can't, I mean, it really doesn't work to use just the mineral concealer by itself under your eye. You definitely need some kind of a base, whether it be another concealer that's sheer or something like that, because it just doesn't last. So there's that. Then I've also tried the Everyday Minerals, the Peach Concealer. Of course, I wouldn't just put this by itself, but I've tried it underneath the concealer. Once again, didn't really do much, just made it look weird under my eyes. There might be some kind of trick to using it. I've tried it quite a few times, so I don't know. Then another one, this is a pretty old one that I used to use a lot when I was younger, and I didn't like really worry that much about makeup. It's the Mary Kay Facial Highlighting Pen. And I have it number 2, and basically it's just one of those click pen things, and it actually is pretty nice. I didn't notice hardly any creasing, and but it's very sheer, so that's the only thing, but I think it does have some kind of shimmer in it, so this is actually a really good product if you don't need a lot of coverage. And then another product that this is pretty much what I would turn to if I wouldn't use the mineral method. I use the Revlon Colorstay UnderEye Concealer. This stuff, obviously, I've used a lot of it. This is pretty much the best like liquid or cream concealer I have found. It still creases, you know, but not that bad, and it lasts a long time. It's just a really good concealer. So if you're looking for something that's a little bit less time consuming, I would recommend this, but you still want to put some kind of a powder on top just so it stays in place. Then something else I've used previously, which works pretty good, is it's L'Oreal Airwear Brightener. I don't even know why I'm showing you this because I think it's discontinued, but basically it's just a cream, like light brightener color, and I used this for a while like underneath my concealer, and that seemed to help brighten up the area, except for when people took pictures of me, I had like bright, like light purple splotches under my eyes, so maybe that wasn't such a good idea. Anyway, let's see. The next one is Neutrogena 3-in-1 Concealer for Eyes. I had this in Light 10. This one's pretty good. I don't like the fragrance of it. It's kind of scary to put that much fragrance near my eyes, I guess. But it works okay. Has pretty good coverage. It's nice that it has the SPF 20 in it. But, you know, it's okay. It still creases a little bit on me, but it's a little more, it's fuller coverage than like the Mary Kay one. Still not quite as good as Revlon Colorstay concealer, but it's pretty nice. My sister likes it a lot, and she doesn't have quite as dark circles as me or problems with creasing. So, then the next one I'll show you is the Makeup Forever Lift Concealer that I used in my first concealer tutorial. This guy is... Okay, for one thing, in the winter, it's too dark for me. It makes me look really weird underneath my eyes, because it's just too, like, dark yellow kind of looking. It's a good concealer. Once again, a little bit too sheer for my taste. Of course, certain times of the year I might have less dark circles or whatever it might be, and I might need just something light like this, and it's actually really good. Doesn't do a lot of creasing because it is more of a sheer. It's not like super creamy and thick, so it's more kind of sheer, even though it does have a good amount of pigmentation. So this is a pretty good concealer if you're wanting to spend the money, but make sure you like it. Obviously, make sure you can return it if you don't like it. And then I'm going to go with the Laura Mercier Secret Concealer. I had quite a few people on YouTube here recommend this to me, and I did give it a try for quite a while, as you can see there, and it just was, once again, just too creamy. I even put a little tiny bit amount, like, you know, a little tiny bit on, like a lot of people recommended, and it was just way too, like, creasy. Like, it would crease within, like, a few minutes on me, which kind of sucks, because I would use the Secret Brightening Powder on top, you know, do the whole thing, but it just didn't work, unfortunately. It's really good pigmentation. I used this for a while, like on blemishes and stuff. I would still probably use it, but I've just been using mineral foundation for that nowadays. But yeah, it's good. It'd probably work on you if you don't have problems with creasing under your eyes. It'd probably work great. Yeah, so it's a good concealer, but not for me. So, and then the last one is a new one I got, is Urban Decay 24/7 Concealer Pencil. I have this in CIA, and it just basically looks like that. Just like a pencil thingy. It's pretty darn creamy. It's a lot like the Laura Mercier one. And this, once again, still creased on me, and it's a little too light to use on blemishes, so I don't really know what I'm going to do with it. But it was nice for the under eye area, just a touch too creasy. I might try using it just a little bit more sheerly, like in the summertime, or I don't know exactly. I haven't really given it that much of a try, but anyway, so that's actually all the concealers. Hopefully that didn't bore you too much, but I just wanted to kind of go through the basics, and probably you've heard about quite a few of them. There's still a few that I haven't tried that people have said that are really good. I did try the Lancome Effacerness. I'm sorry, I don't know how to say it. EFFA something or other, and that stuff sucked pretty much. I mean, it just creased on me a lot. Some people like it a lot, so, you know, just kind of whatever. And let's see what else. There's the Makeup Forever, what's it called? Full Cover Concealer. Haven't tried that one. So, yeah, that's pretty much the only good ones I've heard about. And, yeah, so hopefully that helped you out. And, yeah, so, yeah, let me know if you have any questions about it. And I will see you later. Bye.